students treat injured protesters after Caracas runs out of doctors. Daniela Linto is gaining frontline practical experience as she completes her medical studies. When she is not in lectures or the library, the 22-year-old is on the streets with volunteers treating the injured in Venezuela's violent anti-government protests. "I have felt very afraid," she said. "But I'm more afraid that we remain in this state." On the streets of Caracas this week, the second-year student treated a demonstrator who had been shot at close range with a marble pellet in the city's Chacao neighborhood. "Once we get to a patient, we must decide with the more senior doctors if the injured must be taken away for treatment," she said. "The most common problem is asphyxia from the tear gas. We've also had a lot of head traumas and burns to deal with." Stephen Gibbs on the crisis in Venezuela. Clashes between protesters and government forces armed with tear gas canisters, rubber bullets and water cannon have led to 69 deaths since the start of April and left 100,000 injured. Wearing white builders' helmets marked with the Green Cross, the Cruz Verde group that Linto works with has been compared with the White Helmet volunteers in Syria. "We offer free healthcare to all during the marches," said George Simon, a surgeon who graduated 30 years ago, and who leads his younger charges onto the streets. "Last week I treated a National Guard officer and a riot policeman who had sliced his hand open," he said. "Only yesterday we had 4 pickup trucks extract people to safety zones." Local councils run Venezuela's ambulance service. Limited staff and resources mean paramedics tend to stay away from the streets, instead waiting in clinics to treat the worst affected. Other emergency services are run by the central government. They have been discouraged from giving support to anti-government demonstrators who are deemed to be conducting a coup against President Maduro. "Emergency medical attention at marches is therefore limited to what the local council can provide," said Dr. Simon, who reaches the front line each afternoon, having seen to his own patients at a private clinic.